great. We have another humorous speaker to entertain us. Not only that, inspiring, really inspiring. Thank you, Mr. Ashwin. Next speech is Toastmasters to be big. This is project 6 in ACV. Entertainment speech. So let me invite Toastmaster Shiva to explain the objectives of the speech.
Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a warm good evening. Today I'm here to, I'm so privileged to evaluate our president of the club, Mr. Vivek. He'll be giving us again another entertaining speech. The objective of this speech is to entertain the audience by relating a personal experience from his life and to organize the entertaining speech to the maximum impact. And we will have time for 5 to 7 minutes. 7 minutes 30 seconds is the maximum time. Hey, over to you.
Do you know how many type of husbands are in this world? How many of you are married? Especially the right side. Many of them. Recently, I had gone through a research to order to be. There is no other choice because I went for a 14 days vacation after 4 months, where my wife and children are staying for the last 2 years after they left from here. So I have gone through a hectic plan because of only 14 days, where my house construction is going on. I need to attend my nephew's engagement and also pursue business development. In between, how become a husband, whether he can manage or not with their families. I tried my best, but after all, I got this appreciation from my wife, a perfect gentleman husband. Do you know what is the meaning really behind this one? Really a boring husband. If you go through the lines, there is no fun. You just check. The fun is important matter whenever you go through married life. Otherwise it's so boring. Whatever you make. I don't know, I never researched about how many type of wife. Do you know why? Even God doesn't know how many types. So, in husbands, around 11 types husbands are there. maybe surprise for you. And I am one of them. But fortunately they are mixed. I planned 7 days because in my native place, we are around 290 kilometers away, my wife's house and my house. So I need to equally share the days I need to spend. Do you know why? I don't want to see my wife's other face because the sharing is very important. 7 days in her house and 7 days in my house. If any less or increase, okay. So I have given another 2 days with my wife's house and there my children are staying. Still I got this award. Let me share one of the incidents. 5 days I spent in my place where I need to supervise the house construction. I need to meet my family friends. I need to meet my business developments. Only 5 days. In between, my wife planned 1 day picnic, which was amazing because the service, the van or the vehicle she arranged is a government bus, Kerala Road Transport Corporation. You all arrived, maybe know that. I am very familiar with this bus. Most of the time on the roadsides, we can see. So how I manage, because I come to know this will become a big tragedy because we are going to 100 kilometers away from my native place to a thick forest in this bus with my small kids. Whenever he entered to the bus, he wanted to go number 1 and 2. So he wants to go early 6 o'clock. The bus will start from our area and reach around 11 o'clock in the last area of the forest. After that, we cannot see. On the way, we could have seen many wild animals also. By knowing this, I slightly regret and rejected this project. So what will happen? I don't want to see the other face, but she did not express that all problems she kept inside in her mind. The next event was in her house. One day, we all going to a funeral ceremony. So before starting from my house or our house, what she told, don't eat anything from there. Why? Do you know? She arranged a party or a restaurant lunch outside apart from that. But unfortunately, the ceremony is finished approximately 12:30 noon. By the time I got very hungry. She wanted to reach there and we were always going by a motorbike, a small scooty type, ladies type. I was behind her and she was the driver. So while she driving, I always kept the helmet. I know that on the way something will happen. So one day when I traveling that, and after this ceremony, she wants to reach that, but I never, because of hungry and too much traffic and sunny, I told her, can we go to nearest hospital? Nearest hotel. Immediately, she told, I know you are going to tell this one. You are always cancelling the programs. So, I actually, not frustrated, I was smiling by looking in the mirror what was her face by shouldering. Then immediately, she was very angry and somehow I managed the situation. Instead of shouldering on her, I kept my hand, the hook of the pipe. Suddenly, she changed the situation and moved to the right towards her mother-in-law's lunch. So after all, I got a appreciation like that. You are always a boring husband. This is the boring husband's name. And people always want what is the, or woman wants what is the right husband's always. This is the right husband's, but you cannot find anywhere. Over to you.
Thank you, Team EBIC, for that entertaining speech. So the speech session is over. So shall we have the timers report on the speaker's time?
Here's the time taken by the prepared speeches. Madam Toastmaster Annie Bright took 6 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Kashpreet Singh took 5 minutes 36 seconds. Toastmaster Vivek Evan took 7 minutes 41 seconds. To infer, Madam Toastmaster Annie Bright and Toastmaster Kashpreet Singh both are qualified for voting. Okay.
Thank you for the report. The next session is speech evaluations. So the first speech of Madam Annie Bright will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rajesh Panikre. As we know, he is the area director and our senior most. I must report. So may I request Toastmaster to provide the timing rules for the evaluations.
For the evaluation, time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. I will switch on the green light at 2 minutes, yellow light at 2.5 minutes, and red light at 3 minutes. Okay.
So I invite Toastmaster Rajesh for the evaluation.
Most of the members, especially, sorry to say you did not write that. In fact, you crashed us. And I remember my first icebreaker. It was butterfly in my stomach, and my mouth was dry. I was not able to open my mouth, and she is totally different, and she is like born orator. Some are born orator. I don't know how she told about phobia. But we will believe on that. I agree with that. Sometimes the phobia will be there. Those are very intelligent. They think very far, and then they will get the pain. So you are maybe classified one of the very intelligent women. And about the speech. Your speech objective was to narrate yourself. So I think all audience came to know who's Annie now. Anybody is having the doubt about that? So you met your objective. And to tell a story, you should create some suspense. That's what you created in your opening. You created the festival mood and some girl was crying. And with that, everybody's attention was there with you. And you took us in your journey. And in fact, I was traveling along with you from your 4 years till today. And it was a beautiful journey for me. And about your achievements or your hobbies, it's most of the things, what you spoke in ice breaking is an inspiration speech. This is generally in CC panel, we view it in the 10th point. So, most of your you covered in this. Like my favorite dish is biryani. How do you like biryani? Biryani gets taste when all the ingredients are in the right amount. So in your speech, everything was there. You had a very clear diction, and your language was very good and very understandable English he used. And most ice, what you can call cherry on the cake, you concluded the speech with a quote stating that, you captain your faith and master of your soul. I believe you are captain of this club and master of this club. And like in every good biryani, you can add some flavor in that. Like for a good biryani, you can add little saffron. So you are prepared very good biryani over here, and I liked it, and I tasted it, it was very nice. But as a Toastmaster, always we have to tell area for improvement. That is what I am giving some saffron on your biryani. That is, occasionally you are looking at staring at ceiling. So we have a beautiful audience over here. So you can look at them and speak yourself, and next time don't look at the ceiling and try to control your face. Otherwise, all the best for you. And once again, all the best for your tuition campus.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajesh, for that good evaluation. The next speech evaluation is that of Toastmaster Harsh. His speech is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Naufal, our VP Education also.
Good evening once again, hello. Good evening, first please. I was expecting some Punjabi story. But he has taken us to some sentimental, right? No. A few of us sentimental he has taken when he explained about his father. His death, right? Except that part, we all enjoyed, and I'm sure we got another humorous after our area director. We blessed for that. A lot of jokes we have heard from you about your personal life, professional, and all. We really enjoy that one. And the part of the object you have done very well. You opened the Toastmastering journey. You started that one with this ice breaking. And the main point which I noticed that one, there is no any improvement part we can say, because first project as ice breaking there is nothing is demanding to the improvement part. But even I'm just giving you the slight point for your future. Especially your movement was well, and sometimes you was closing your hands, you can just reveal and you can fix any other gesture. And similarly, you need to just improvement for your eye contacts. All this only the part of the negatives I meant, but even it is not necessary. Again, I am saying to you, in the part of the ice breaking, there is no any demanding for all these things. But as for your future assignments, when you are giving to the next speeches, you need to just improvise all this part. Except that one, you were in a perfect, you have successfully completed your speech. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naufal. Now, the next evaluation, the speech of Toastmaster Vivek Ayyan's speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Shivakumar. Welcome, Toastmaster.
A couple of days back, I received a WhatsApp message. There it says, ways to make your wife and husband happy. First section says, how many ways to make wife happy. And there is a lot of big list of activities that husband has to do. And at the end, I scroll down and I see at the last there was only one sentence written for husband, and it says, leave him alone. That makes him happy. Good evening all the members, especially Toastmaster Vivek, my target speaker. Give him a very big round of applause for participating in this speech today. That was a wonderful speech, I should say. He started with the title, A Perfect Gentleman Husband, making himself as a subject in front of you and narrating his story, which is very bold, I should say, which normally we don't prefer to, but he did it. That's a very bold attempt, and it was so entertaining as his speech objective says. As per the speech objective, he gave a very good entertaining speech, and he took a title, a subject which can be related to everyone in the audience. That is something which is really good, I should say. He started with a question to all of us, saying how many types of husbands you know. That was actually a striking question on all of us, and we are a little bit afraid to raise our hands or open our mouth. So that was really good. So that question actually caught the attention of audience, and these kind of questions are very, very important for actually other speakers also, and this is what we learned from experienced Toastmasters. As per the speech objective, as I said, you took us through a life experience and your life experience, and you have explained how you spent those 14 days of vacation. Normally, whenever I want to plan my vacation, first question strikes my mind is how many days there and how many days here. So this is something, of course, happens with every one of us. So that these are the kind of anecdotes I really cherish in his speech a lot. These kind of things connects each and everyone. So a good speaker is one who narrates, who writes his speech, which can relate to each and everyone, so that the engagement of audience is never lost during the speech. I would really appreciate that. And lot of humor was involved in your speech. There was a lot of humor. There was a lot of scope for humor also, I can say. I would actually say a bit of more body language would help you in enacting that humor and making it more interesting. Other than that it was really a perfect speech. Your eye contact is really good, wonderful. You can actually improve on your body language or usage of space here. That is something which can be the recommendations from my end. Otherwise, you have done a wonderful job.
That's a great delivery from Professor Shivakumar. He actually, in fact, complimented the same topic and the training as the speech of Professor Vivek. Now, may I have the report of time?
Yes, the time allotted for evaluations were 2 to 3 minutes. Toastmaster Rajesh Palikare took 3 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Naufal MK took 2 minutes 7 seconds. Toastmaster Shiva Kumar took 3 minutes 28 seconds. To infer, all are qualified.
The next session is the interesting session with topic. So before that, I will take a few more minutes to complete the theme of this evening. So fear of failure. I would like to cite 2 examples. One, that of an extreme case of fear of failure, and another is an extreme case of fearlessness of failure. One example is that this in our locality itself, There was the lady, she is still there. She spent 23 years in darkness. From her young ages, she grew away from people. She started kind of phobia. She going backward, and she ended up in a dark room. She was afraid to meet people. Later, she was afraid to come out of her home in the daylight. Only her movements were confined to the night time. Like that, she completely spent 23 years in a dark room, and this was losing her vision capacity for eyes. Then recently, some community volunteers, it was some 10 years back, she was gradually brought out of this room with some kind of training. And during my 2 years back, I was also sitting with the team who brought her out and trained. That's one of the sessions I was sitting. So that lady was sitting in front of us and was communicating. She is now able to see also. That vision capacity also she got gradually back. So fear of failure, it's an extreme case how a person's life can smash out. This is an example. Another example, probably some of you are familiar with this person. He is another figure in Malayalam film industry. He was passionate about film, acting, and shining in the film industry, but he didn't have the capability. So, but he couldn't have himself performing. What did he do? He used his own money to produce film. He acted, and all the roles of directing, acting, script writing, editing, music, lyrics, playback, all this. And he was a comic character when his first film was when it came out. But now, after 10 years, he has produced more than 10 years, and some of them were success in box office. Now he is not a figure. Even though he is not counted as a mainstream actor or any player in the film industry, he is a success in his career because he didn't mind anything. He played all the roles he wanted, setting up platform for himself. So that is an extreme case of fearlessness, such believing himself. So what are the antidotes to fight the fear of failure? One, do more what you can control. We all have fear of failure. So what we can do with that? Do more what we can control. For example, a sales person, as is in that category, I can easily say, especially in a situation where a recession or the business is coming down, he cannot say. He cannot control the outcome. So what he can do is to increase the activities that he can do, like meeting more people, meeting more customers, like that. In Toastmasters, we cannot perform, we cannot achieve our targets being a speaker or being a performer in a short time. But we can control some activities, appearing on the floor or appearing in the meetings, how many times, so that we can control. So like that we can control then our perception about ourselves. See, it is not about thinking ourselves. It is as easy to think big as what is we are doing about thinking small, so we can control our thoughts. Now, our perception about society, it is not our business to think what others are thinking. Just do perform and make them think otherwise by performing ourselves like the other person did. Now, that's whenever a situation comes, frustrating situation, believe that it is not all or it is not or nothing. So let me conclude the theme. Now the most interesting session of the meeting, that is table topics. Let me invite Toastmaster Sufika for doing this session.
Good evening once again. 5 o'clock it's your quote from EPA education. He said that there's a big 20-minute speech cancer, so you have to bring more speeches, more topics. Again, I Googled and find out 10 topics. Unfortunately, now we are running out of time, so I don't know how much we can consider. But it's, how many we can?
All are not speakers.
What you can suggest, one start with Rajesh.
Okay.
For the guests.
Okay. So
Actually, we
can I-
started 15 times,
So-
15 minutes late.
But you also responsible to starting the
before that, I would like to call our timer to explain the timing rule for the tablet topic.
Yes, quickly. The time allotted for table topics is 1 to 2 minutes with an allowance of 30 seconds. And 1 minute green, 1 minute 30 seconds yellow, 2 minutes red. Okay.
So can I call Toastmaster Rajesh? Toastmaster Rajesh, your topic is would you break the law to save a loved one? I will repeat once again. Would you break the law to save a loved one? Toastmaster Rajesh.
Toastmasters of the evening, dear Toastmasters and new guests, welcome here. My name is Rajesh Paul. I have got a good topic actually, and it's very bit emotional and touching topic also. If your loved one is in danger, so we need to save that loved one. So it will be definitely there will be it cannot be no that we don't do any effort to save the loved one. So it has to be yes always, and I would do my best to save the loved one, even though I have to risk my own life. So there are examples. It happens, like when we go for swimming in the sea or in some trekking area. So such kind of situations occur with us, and it has happened many a times with many of the people where we counter with the situation where there is no choice left for us, to save the loved ones. So even though there was an example, I had to face in my school days. So we had a friend he was not a loved one, but it was obviously a friend. So he was of course a loved one. So we had to save that guy, and because of in India we have some water ponds which are a bit complex to swim and go. So it happened suddenly that he fell into that, and it was not me, but I was not knowing swimming at that point of time. We forced our friend who was a good swimmer. So the final result was yes, he was saved, and it was a happy moment for all of us. So definitely I will go out of my turn. In fact, if I get such a situation in any time in future in my life. Thank you, and over to you.
So I request any guest volunteer participation. That's right.
All guests have to participate.
Yeah.
Don't force it, not to.
Yeah. Can you, I forget your name, can you?
Aruna.
Aruna, Toastmaster, Aruna, my Toastmaster. Okay. I'm Toastmaster Aruna, your topic is actions speak louder than words. Do you agree or not? I will repeat. Actions speak louder than words. Do you agree or not? Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone. Of course, I agree. I set myself as an example and tell you about this. I'm a mother. So if I want my kids to do something, even if I scream on top of my lungs and ask them to do something, they wouldn't do. But if I do the same thing, for instance, whenever we come in after some outing and say if we are coming in from the school, we used to take off our chappals or shoes, and if I put them on the shoe rack, they do. But if I don't, and I leave my shoes or chappals on the floor and I enter the house, my kids do the same. So my action speaks more than my words, even more than my scream. They listen, they don't listen when I scream, but they see, they look and watch and do what I do. So obviously I agree with that statement. Action speaks more than the words.
We can get one more question. Okay. Adiman, Toastmaster, Adiman. Toastmaster, your topic is example isn't another way to teach. It is the only way to teach. I will repeat. Example is not another way to teach. Is not another way to teach. Is not example is not another way to teach. It is only the way to teach.
Okay. So, yes, I agree with this. What happens when we start from the school or all the college level, all our textbook, what it says, like any theory or any topic to be given. So what he says, we will give an example so that we can correlate the topic or correlate any theory to that example, then we can grasp it. Now we have gone through many speeches, and each speech had some example. Example, it could be their own story or it could be taken from some textbook. So I agree, the example will provide or it supports our motive or whatever the theory we want to do. So we'll go with that example. It's a kind of storytelling. Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah. Thank you.
There are many topics, plenty of topics. Your topic is, do you see to believe or believe to see? I will repeat, simple subject. Do you see to believe or believe to see?
Good evening all. I don't know what I can say. Without believing, how we can see?
You can choose another topic.
Another topic. There are a lot of topics.
Only 2 cards for the case.
Your topic is a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. I will repeat, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, you see. For example, if you are going for an exam, either we have to learn completely, otherwise we don't need to say, we don't need to study anything. Big zero. Otherwise it will make confusion and we cannot complete anything. So, in my opinion, either we have to learn or we have full of knowledge, otherwise zero. Thank you.
Last one, okay. Maybe we can give templates for this is the next practice session for division.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The same topic I got from the question from the area.
Yeah.
Empathy is more precious. That's it.
And this topic is empathy is
That
more
is
precious.
behind you, it seems. That is behind you, it seems.
Change.
He already given that.
Okay, okay. Your topic is whoever is not grateful to man is never grateful to God. I'll repeat, whoever is not grateful to man is never grateful to God. Cosmos and
All of us in here, and I suppose everyone living in this world, all of us have a fear. Fear not to fear people, but fear to the Almighty, right? So all of us are coming from different faiths, different beliefs, different religions. So obviously all of us have a creator. I mean, we're all existing, so obviously there's creator. So in order to be grateful to our creator, we need to be grateful towards people. Gratefulness begins right from your home, right from your childhood, right from where you are. So, being a person, I should be, first of all, born in a family. I should be grateful to my parents who raised me up. I should be grateful to my teachers who taught me. And I should be grateful to my community who brought me up to this town. I should be grateful for everything. If I'm not grateful to the people that I see, how can I be grateful to the God who created me? If I can't believe the visible, how can I believe this invisible thing? So obviously I agree with what the Toastmaster says. I should be grateful to man and then I can be grateful to God. If I don't demonstrate my gratefulness to the people around me, I cannot be grateful to someone who's not even here, who's not even present, who I cannot see or tangible. You know, I can't feel God, so it's not tangible to me. So if I don't feel him and I don't see him, I can't be grateful to him because I cannot be, if I'm not grateful to my parents, if I'm not grateful to the people around me, obviously I'm an ungrateful soul and I cannot be grateful to God. So over to you.
so I just continue wanted participation from guests or any other. Sorry. Next time, okay. You want to write? Anyone? Still you have time? Okay. Thank you for all the participants.
Read out the name. Read out the name of the participant.
And he will.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Now it's time to report.
Yes, here is the timing of the participants of the topics. Toastmaster Rajesh Kaur took 1 minute 55 seconds. Madam Toastmaster Aruna took 1 minute 3 seconds. Toastmaster Mathivanan, right? Okay. Mathivanan took 44 seconds. Madam Toastmaster Lydia took 26 seconds. Madam Toastmaster Annie Bright took 1 minute 27 seconds. Linford, Toastmaster Rajesh Kaur, Madam Toastmaster Aruna, and Madam Toastmaster Annie Bright. 3 are qualified for voting. Toastmaster Madhivanan and Lydia, you know why you are not qualified, because there is a minimum limit for the time you should achieve at least 1 minute. Over to you.
Thank you. Report by Wordmaster, Toastmaster Thomas.
Dear Toastmasters and guests, good evening once again. The word "infer" was used by Toastmaster Arun Balakrishnan 2 times. I didn't find anybody else using this word. This is a very easy word and it can be easily used in your sentences, because to conclude or to come to a conclusion, this you can easily use this. Also, this word was published before 2 days and the agenda was updated. So when you prepare the speech, you should try to include the word. And grammar grammar is okay. This one case which I noticed was one sentence it was said can smash out, but it can be smashed out. This is one which I noticed. Otherwise, there was no much mistakes. But grammar there should be improvement. So now, okay.
Thank you. About the Atma Toastmasters point.
I'm saying good evening everyone. Today my job was so easy. Everyone performed well, especially icebreaker, spontaneous and humorous speech. That was very excellent. Few observations from me. Annie, Toastmaster Annie, right? She used to so once, and n number of so, and Harshat Preet. I don't find any so or repeated words. Toastmaster Vivek, he used it twice, and few so. And Toastmaster Rajesh, and then he used once, and R he used once. Toastmaster Nofal, he used R once. Toastmaster Shiva, he used R 3 times. So 1 time.
Generally manager, Toastmaster Maharaj.
I will bring one and all. We had a wonderful session here today. We started with 6 emotional enemies. I am sure it is part of the life of every one of us. Nobody can move away from this kind of field. He was coming out with real-time incidents. Moving on. I think the topic of today, theme of the day, fear of failure. Again, it was a coincidence or something, I don't know, the Danish speech, it was very well connected. I don't know whether you prepared because of the theme of the day or it was a coincidence. And the award we got, the Home Club of Area Director Award, it was anyway, it was a pleasure to do for us. Okay, let me go back, see, talk about critically. The way he introduced, when he was got up for the word introduction. It was a really beautiful way of introduction here. Because most of the people got some idea about what is what they will talking about. Again, when the guests are called here to introduce yourself, you did a superb job. Okay. Even though you are, this is maybe first time some of you are coming here, but you are public speakers already. You are capable enough to do it. So the role of, or where the Toastmasters will help you is, even you remember when the Sergeant at Arms introduced the mission of the club. But on top of the mission, I would like to tell you something very simple. See, personality development, communication skill development, and leadership skills development. Each role, you go through this agenda, you are going to see lot of roles to be taken, right? All these roles are giving you one way or another way, which is bringing you out of your fear, of any kind of, what I'm saying is, turning you back yourself. This kind of fear and all are coming out. You are going forward. You need to take the road seriously. Even if you just join a club, that will not solve the problem. Even if you pay for the money, that will not solve the problem. If only you come out, if only you take each and every road with sincerity, you need to put a little effort. Then only you are going to come out this kind of fears. Again, I cannot leave shark in the boat. Otherwise, I am going to be in the boat. Again, this idea, the way you try to introduce us, it was really something new to most of us, especially you are opening a new unit called I care, right? Idea I care. I'm sure we or whenever we are going to have some sort of need of it, or even if we are in our company, we are getting an opportunity, we are going to give some sort of introduction to the company or community. Again, see, each and every meeting, we used to have something take home message. Here I got something today. I'm sure when I go for meeting in my office and what I'm going to do is learning is earning. Thank you very much for your word. Learning is earning. Even though it is something common, but we don't use that word. Learning is earning. Really part of our life. Again, as I said, we had a really good meeting here today, but still we have really good scope for improvement. First one, our timing. I'm sorry, I cannot leave that one away. We started by 8:50. Even though most of the members were present here by 8 itself. We should stick ourselves, somehow we should start such an attempt. Be on the podium at sharp pace, even if president is not there, even if none of the club members are there, even if you are not present, come and start the meeting at sharp pace. Then only we will have that practice. That is one. Secondly, whenever we get a role, please, we need to respect everyone. Our time is very much important. Even if it is president, even if it is area director, whatever the position you are holding, respect the time of everyone. When you are having 2 minutes speech, take only 2 minutes. I don't know, see, you need to monitor me now and you need to give me the alert. See, I'm not going much back, but please, let us all stick to the time what is allotted. Never ever take. You may take 1 minute or more, but not 5 minutes, 10 minutes like that. Never do it. And the word of the day. See, word of the day is clear, right? When he was introducing or giving exams, for me it was not clear. Frankly speaking, I didn't get exactly what is the examples of it, what is the actual meaning of it, even though it is somewhat a known word. You are already prepared, right? You are already having the projector and everything. Why can't you put it on the projector? It will help all of us to understand. Because again, that is one thing. Second thing, you are having the agenda here, right? Here you are introducing it. Why can't you put 1 or 2 more lines about the meaning and what are all the details you were explaining here? Why can't you put it here itself? It will help us. Then more people will use that word during the meeting. Again, one more thing I just want to put it across. See, I used to have something called some sort of feedback form. Okay? After each speech, especially I am talking about the prepared speeches, after each speech, 30 seconds is given for all the members or for all who are present here to write the feedback. That 30 seconds to 1 minute. Because that will help the user. See? So that will help the speaker to improve himself or herself. See, one evaluator is evaluating the speech, I agree with it, but at the same time, other members are also getting an opportunity to express whatever concerns they have, whatever they are suggesting, even positive and negative, or scope for improvement. Why can't we introduce something like that actually? It doesn't cost us anything much. Okay? Normally, there is from Professor International, they are getting a form, okay, which is a habit. Again, please, whether it is Toastmaster of the evening or general evaluator or Toastmaster, never leave the podium empty. Let the other person go into the podium, shake hands, then only the other person leave the podium. Please. And table topic introduction. Again, table topic introduction. When you do it, there is a standard to be followed. The name of the speaker, topic, the name of the speaker. Then it will be clear to everyone. That's a standard which is followed everywhere. After all, I feel it was a good meeting for all of us, and we have got some take-home messages as well. And I wish to continue this please. Thank you very much for giving me.
Thank you, Professor, for defining our today's meeting and cross examining all of our performance. Now we have a session of guest impression. So we would like words how you felt this evening. So, may wait was because as we have short of time, I apologized with the Toastmaster for I being Toastmaster. So may have Madam.
I found it very challenging. And again, I found it very beneficial. I learned a lot, especially the sequence, how we need to start our speeches and how we need to flow until we conclude. I agree with Mr. Muhammad Ashraf regarding the new words that we need to use, like the one that I couldn't get the right meaning out of it, and I couldn't form it in a full sentence because the example were not clear. Furthermore, related to the evaluation, the table evaluation, the table speeches, I found it very difficult because the names are not really, I cannot memorize the name. That's why I asked if we can use it by numbers. So this will make it much easier for us even to evaluate each other later on. Thank you.
Again, one good evening to all. I think I can fulfill my dreams here because I was very afraid of public speaking. That's why he asked me to come up here to speak. First I refused, but I was thinking why I am here. I want to come out from my cocoon. So again I thought, then I came here for the topic speak. So I think I can fulfill my dreams here, and it's a very good session, I think, because here we have you already prepared some speeches, and for me it's a fresh topic. First topic I didn't understand what was the topic. The second topic I choose, even though it's only 20-25 seconds, I could speak out in front of the public. So it's a good session for me. Thank you all.
So this is not the first time as a guest. So next time definitely I'll be a member because I've just filed my application and I have paid my fees. So at least to utilize my fees,
Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening all. I find this meeting very interesting, and really I traveled through this 1 hour. It was very interesting. I learned a lot of things. Hopefully this will give me kind of like a new turn in my career. I will be getting use of this meeting very well. Thank you.